Throughout the past year, Nishan and his executive team have shown their lack of leadership. Whether that was failing to deliver on the promises of Ignite, that all students would receive in-person teaching when it was safe to do so, or by failing to implement an actual education safeguards policy whilst COVID disruptions were going on, or by being willing to put up to 145 staff member jobs at risk for a formal consultation process whilst ignoring concerns from students, staff, the wider academic community, and any financial alternatives to save those jobs. Or right now, whilst they rip off students regarding our tuition fees or where we pay for the price of a normal year despite receiving less of the service. For those reasons and more in our manifesto and below in this Q&A video, I recommend that you vote yes in this referendum to show that the damage that Nishan and his executive team are causing are unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Mariam, a PhD student in informatics, and I would like to urge you to vote yes in the referendum. So my focus is on the restructuring plan proposed by Vice Chancellor Nishan and his executive board. They're singling out disciplines such as mathematics, English, and computer science to reshape. They're eliminating foundational areas such as pure mathematics, medieval English studies, and theoretical computer science. Many believe that this violates the academic freedom law in the UK because it is a direct interference by the management in academic affairs. These decisions about the curricula and research areas should be made by the experts in the fields, who are the faculty members in those departments, not the management. So please vote yes. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately for many students, the marketing promises of Ignite have not at all lived up to what the university promised us. The university promised as late as September that teaching would be blended learning, despite the fact that many students, such as those in contemporary history, have not even received a day of actual in-person teaching. Evidently, the university preferred to focus on flashy marketing and gimmicks to get students to sign up for courses, rather than actually telling them the truth. Which is why we need to vote yes in this referendum against Nishan and his executive team to show that breaking promises to students cannot stand.
It is a no-brainer we are being robbed this year, and we are not getting our money's worth, with the failure of online teaching, which has led many of us unmotivated, and the executives completely ignoring budgeting towards real mental health checks is why we need to get rid of this old regime. Do you know where your money is going? Now let me tell you, it's going straight to the lining of the pockets of the executive who aren't the ones who need it. It is not fair that we have a selfish Vice Chancellor at the top who refuses to make a pay cut to his 250 grand payment package he gets each year, but without a doubt will cut library jobs, 80% of those being women. To make this uni thrive, we do not need a selfless man at the top. We do not need a sheriff from Nottingham taking our taxes. So vote yes, and don't let our tuition fees be robbed.
If Nishan and his executive team have shown something else during this pandemic, is that they lack the kind of decisiveness in order to run a university. Take their actions over the education safeguard, for example. Despite the easily foreseeable events of a second lockdown due to the rising cases, despite the request from students and staff to have a education safeguard implemented as soon as possible, and despite the lockdown restrictions tightening massively in October, the university failed to implement an education safeguard until January. And now that we have it, it's highly technical, it's hard to understand, and there's absolutely no details for master's students. It's a failure. But yet, the university's failure falls on the students, not on Nishan and the executive team, and their lack of leadership, which is why we need to take a stand and vote yes in this referendum to show them a message that their lack of leadership will no longer stand.
No safety net, poor communication, university in deficit, student concerns neglected. This university has placed 145 staff jobs at risk through the formal consultation and consistently ignored concerns from the staff, from students, and the wider academic body. Vote yes from March 17th and stand up against Nishan.